Hello everyone, and welcome to my Saradomin God Wars guide. In this guide I will be covering the Veracs melee method in a trio. But as long as it's more than a duo, it doesn't really matter how many people, the concept will still be the same. The requirements/recommendations for this guide are as follows. 70 agility is a requirement because you need 70 agility to enter the Saradomin area of God Wars. And it does not work to boost your skill, so say if you are 65 agility and you eat a summer pie to boost to 70, it will not let you in the area. You actually need the skill 70 agility. I recommend 85 plus in all your melee stats, because if you have less than this, you're not going to be hitting very much, and you're not going to be doing very much for your team, so I'd say having at least 85 in your melee stats will be very, very helpful. I recommend having 70 plus prayer for the piety prayer, which will highly increase your damage output, and again is very highly useful and recommended. Full Veracs is required, of course, because this is the Veracs method guide. The Saradomin Godsword is an extremely helpful spec weapon as the special attack heals you and restores some of your prayer, and Guthans is also helpful for some extra healing. The recommended gear setup for this guide is of course full Veracs, an Amulet of Fury, a Fire Cape, Pharaoh's Gloves, Dragon Boots, and a Ring of Life. You can switch the Ring of Light out with a Berserker Ring Eye, but personally I choose to bring a Ring of Life, because the bonuses that you get from Berserker Ring Eye, in my opinion, are not worth having, that a little bit of security that the Ring of Life provides. In case you DC, Ring of Life has that chance to save you so you don't lose your items, so I personally just choose to use a Ring of Life. Apart from that, just, basically use the best gear you can, with full Veracs, best amulet, cape, gloves, boots you can. For inventory, you're going to need one Saradomin and one Zamorak item. Because I have a Saradomin Godsword which I use as a special attack item, of course, I just wear that while I'm getting kill count. So if you do not have a Saradomin Godsword, some other good alternatives that are very cheap are the Holy Amulet or Monk's Robes, and then I also choose to bring Zamorak Chaps. The best alternative I can think of for this would be, like a Zami or Sara Cape. Zami and Sara Cape both work, but again, just kind of use the items that you have and try to make the best mix and match so that you lose the minimal amount of stats while getting kill count. The reason why I use Zami Chaps is because when I wield my Zami Chaps, I don't lose any strength bonus or attack bonus, but if I was using a Zami Cape, I would lose the strength bonus and attack bonus for the Fire Cape. So try to take things like that into consideration while getting your kill count set up, and just pick the best combination that you can use. I bring 3 supersets. This is dependent upon how long your trips are going to be for your team. I can't really say how many you need to bring. It's just for me personally, I do trios with 2 rangers and me meleeing, and 3 supersets is about what I need. 2 Trollheim tabs. I will explain why we have 2 Trollheim tabs and not 1 house tab and 1 Trollheim tab later. To use a Trollheim tab, you need to take a house teleport and use a scroll of redirection from Nightmare Zone on it, and you can make them into Trollheim tabs. The Edgar's Ruse quest is required for this, though. That being said, also, if you do not have scrolls of redirection, you can teleport to Trollheim using the Trollheim teleport, but that also, again, requires Edgar's Ruse. And, all I can say is if you haven't done Edgar's Ruse, I highly recommend you do that if you plan on doing God Wars seriously. 50 bones to Peach's tabs. Everything drops bones, so these are very useful to get some extra healing in. 4 brews. This you're going to have to figure out yourself how many you need. I can't really tell you how many brews and restores you're going to need. You kind of have to go and test it out and see what you need for you. Personally, I'm a little bit more experienced, so I don't need very many brews, and 4 is usually too many. I usually never use all of these. But personally, I choose to bring 4 brews and 4 restores, and the rest prayer potions. If your setup is something like this, you should be good to go. Once you are geared up and your inventory is set, break one of your Trollheim teleports. You will land in Trollheim, but now you might think, well, Mr. Mammal, I like to bring house tabs as an emergency tele. Well, the nice thing about this is that once you're here, you can click on revert, click yes, and there you go, and now you have your teleport to house back. People used to have to do what was known as the drop trick, where you would teleport to Trollheim, drop some items, go to a bank, refill your items, teleport back, then pick those items back up. That way you wouldn't lose inventory space, if you comprehended what I just said. But now that is no longer necessary with this method, which is actually quite nice. So, once you are here, you want to climb down these rocks. It's a fairly simple path down. I don't think I'm going to record it all, because, yeah, it's pretty easy. Once you are to this point, you will see some yellow dots. These are thrower trolls, so you're going to want to turn on protect from range to not take damage from these. There will be a crack in the wall over here. Crawl through the crack, because it is faster than pushing the boulder. You can take your prey range off once you're past them. Once you are through the crawl space, so excuse my Orion stuff over here. Once you're through the crawl space, you can turn on protect from melee, because these wolves will actually hit you fairly often. I don't know why, they just seem to wreck you. And then hit a bit northeast and climb down the hole. If this is your first time to God Wars, you are going to need to bring a rope to climb down the hole, as well as bring a rope over here. I kind of forgot to mention that. My bad. Well, now it's better. It's better late than never, I suppose. If this is your first time to Saradomin God Wars, you need to bring 2 ropes. You need to use 1 rope on this rock. I'll just climb down it to show you. You need to use a rope on that rock to climb down it. Then follow this south and use a rope on this rock. Sorry I didn't mention that earlier. It kind of spaced it. But yeah, I guess once you do that, then you can come get your kill count. My bad about that. So, yeah, okay, once you have your rope set up, imagine that you already have your rope set up. You're good to go. Where I choose to do my kill count is right over here in this area. There are a large amount of Saradomin monsters, and they are almost always being attacked by other Zamorak minions. And now, the reason why you want that is that you don't have to use prayer or take any damage from them. You basically just leech off the Zamorak minions to get free kill count, which is quite handy. That being said, the higher Slayer level you are, the easier this is going to be for kill count, because Spiritual Warriors, Spiritual Rangers, and Spiritual Magers all have a Slayer level requirement. I don't actually know what the requirements are off the top of my head. I believe Warriors are 67, Rangers are 70-something, and then Magers are 83, something like that. They're not too high Slayer requirements except for the Mages. The Mages have a pretty high Slayer requirement, and obviously just kill whatever Saradomin minions you can until you have 40 kill count. Alrighty guys, well I accidentally lost the intro clip to when I was running in the room, but basically what you want to do before you go in is set your quick prayers, and she just spawned. You're going to want to set your quick prayers to protect item, protect from magic, and piety. Once you get in the room, all 3 of you, or however many you are going to want to attack the boss. Once you attack her 3 times, every single time she will turn on the exact amount of ticks. That way it can help you to time when you need to run away. On your 3rd hit, she will turn on to you. At that point, you want to run away. That is simply it. You want to run away. I know it sounds a bit weird. You just run away from the boss, but that's the best method to go about it, because her melee attacks are absolutely brutal. You have to pray mage because her special attack uses magic, which can hit up to 30s very rapidly. And if you try and tank her melee attacks, well, best of luck, I guess. So basically, guys, all you have to do is literally hit the boss until it turns on you, and then you run away. That's literally it. It is. I mean, there's unfortunately this like negative stigma that Saradomin is a really, really hard God Wars boss, and it's not. It is an extremely easy God Wars boss. Like I said, I mean, it's an extremely easy boss. Like I said, unfortunately people think it's hard, but it's not. You literally just need to make sure you keep your health up. You need to make sure you are potted. And all you have to do is hit the boss until it turns on you and you run away. It is quite honestly that simple. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will be glad to help you out. Hope this guide helped, and I will see you all later.